pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Select Board's rules of procedure are adopted annually to ensure a productive meeting. The Select Board meetings are in the public, not of the public, meaning the members of the public in attendance are entitled to the opportunity to comment, but the purpose of the meeting is for the Board to be able to effectively and efficiently conduct the necessary business to govern the town. All questions and comments are to be directed to the Chair, and the rules of procedure indicate that there will be 2 minutes allotted for comment from any single person on any single topic. The rules of procedure are posted in the town hall and available for everyone to review. Thank you.
All right. Well, welcome. Welcome. This is so nice. Okay, so Bob, Mike, Jessica, Tom, Rich, I'm Kristen. We have Hillary and Julie here, and I've got everybody online. Thank you for coming online. Mike is the chair, so just making sure that questions and comments are directed to Mike. 2 additions tonight, so 1 executive session to discuss confidential attorney-client communications made for the purpose of providing professional legal services to the body. That will be, I'm assuming, towards the end of the meeting.
Yes.
And then we have Hillary Solomon, who's here tonight from the PMNRCD, to address the board under pre-requested. Any other additions? Or deletions? No. Okay. So our minutes that are in need of approval are from our last meeting, which was November 25th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thanks, Tom.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay. So I know this feels maybe a little silly, but this is for
I can be in
PMTV.
charge.
Thank you. So it's
Yeah.
on.
Hillary?
So you just have to
Yep.
talk into it. It's not going to project your voice, but it just helps to have you projected over the web.
Okay.
You can use this if you'd like.
Let me do it this way. All right. So thank you for letting me speak tonight. I'm actually following up. I was here maybe a year and a half ago, and we had just we were just getting started with a project where we were sort of updating all the data collection from Flower Brook and expanding it expanding it upstream into the tributaries. Because it's such an unstable brook and there's so much gravel coming into the town of Pawlet. And we'd been working with Danby and Pawlet on identifying some projects and trying to do some work in the stream. And I think at the time I told you that the scientists that we had hired had noticed that the gravel sizes in the brook were pretty small. And so one of the reasons that we're seeing so much gravel down here in the village of Pawlet is that it's just really easy to transport that gravel. It's really easy for the banks to erode and the stream bed to erode. And that's some of what we're seeing down here. So now the study is completed, and I have a map that's super hard to see, but what you can see from this map, and I'll send this to you all electronically so you can look at it, but if you look at it, the stream is color coded, and so part of it's red and orange, and then you'll see some parts that are kind of like a yellowy lime green. So the parts that are red it was like 11 or 10 projects identified in that little section, and then orange is 7 or 8, going down to the 1 to 3 projects on these little yellow parts of the streams, which tend to be more in the headwaters. So we were excited because there's a lot of opportunity to do some stabilization, maybe strategically add some wood to the stream to get floodwaters out into little pockets where it can then deposit sediment instead of continuing to carry it down into the village. But we went out into the field and we looked at all these project areas, and we're a little disappointed to find that many of them were very small. So they're not the type of project that you could sort of fund through traditional grant applications where you're generally funding like a discrete project at a time. So this would So we are a little unsure how to proceed. It might be something where a landowner who owns a section of Flower Brook or Beaver Brook or Purchase Brook, so that this whole watershed up toward Danby, you know, maybe we could work with that landowner, help educate them about what types of things help to make a stream more resilient, help to increase sort of the local flooding in areas where there's no conflict, and try to decrease sediment and water coming down into the village. But it's not something that's going to fit kind of our traditional way that we have worked in the past. We do have the top 13 projects here that are a little bit, maybe a little bigger projects that we might be able to put through our sort of ordinary grant program and processes. Of those, 7 were in the town of Pawlet and 6 were in the town of Danby. And I'll pass these around. You'll probably recognize most of them, most of the locations. And it ended up being a mix of things. So of those top 13 projects, we had 4 that are bridge or culvert replacements, 3 that would be tree plantings, 1 river corridor easement, 1 that would be that strategic wood addition that I talked about, 2 that are pond improvements, like changing the way that water maybe enters a pond or leaves a pond into the stream. In 1 case, you'll see there's actually a dam built across the stream, which is not legal. And you'll see there's something about enforcement in there, which I crossed out because we provide assistance to people. We don't ever report people, but that is something that is not, something occurring that should be addressed. 1 is a sediment basin related to road runoff. 1 is addressing gully erosion, and then 1 is just road improvements on a private road, which is the road network up at the end of Little Village Road in Danby. So those are the types of projects, and basically trying to get an array of projects picked, but also the sort of larger ones where we might be able to address something more significant. But that was the sort of the outcome of that study that we were working on. And I'm going to release some information about this into like the Pawlet e-News, so folks get a little bit of information about what we did, and you know, landowners. We've been in touch with a lot of these landowners, so we can keep working with them individually and see if we can do some of the smaller projects, maybe through volunteer efforts or something. But that's kind of our update on that project. I think in some ways it was exciting, and in other ways it left us feeling a little disappointed. Yeah. And that's it.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I looked through here, but I wasn't fully able to identify all the spots. There were several that were culverts. Are all the culvert ones on town roads, or are any of the culvert situations on the state road?
None of the culverts were on state roads.
Okay.
In this study. And I meant to mention that too. I know Pawlet tends to have pretty good culverts. Like Pawlet's replaced a lot of culverts in the last 20 years.
And we continue to, there's some that our new town road foreman has identified that he wants to pursue funding to replace as well.
So I also work with this clean water service provider. It's the Conservation District and the Regional Planning Commission working together, and we have state clean water funds, and we basically pay people to reduce phosphorus. So if you have a culvert replacement and there's always, if you're upsizing a culvert, there will generally be a phosphorus reduction number associated with that, and we can pay for those phosphorus credits. So it might be a good idea to connect at some point to look at the culverts that are on your list for replacement and see if we can just tack on some funding for those. We actually haven't really had towns utilize that, but I think it would be great if somebody tried it, and I think if it worked, it would be a really easy thing to just keep doing.
I mean, if we got extra money to help toward our culvert replacements, we wouldn't say no to that.
Right, and the state is also there's a operations and maintenance piece too, where they're sort of then tied in for operations and maintenance. So if something happened, again, it's a new program, but if something happened and I don't know why it would, but in a flood or something, it washed out, there might be some funds tied to that culvert to help maintain it too. So I think it's a good program, but we should connect with James.
So essentially, there was no smoking gun that was causing
No.
all the problems. It's just a whole bunch of little issues that need to be addressed and nothing quite worthy of grant process. Is it the landowner's responsibility to,
So I
how
think
does it work?
For us, then, we think, oh my gosh, okay, so now we have a big education maybe project ahead of us. And we've been mailing information to the landowners up there. And a lot of them have been, I mean, people have been really receptive and, yeah, so I think it's a matter of just going, if people want a site visit, we can go and walk their stream and just talk about things they might be able to do to make the stream a little bit more resilient and keep, again, just try to keep the floodwaters where they aren't, there's no conflict. So if we can add some, sort of strategically add some logs in the upper part of Flower Brook and retain some sediment up there, it's just gonna help out down here, even if it's just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions for Hillary?
It's a challenging area because there's a lot of gravel, you know, light
Yeah, you
soils
can-
that erode easily, and
Yeah, you see it right now in
yeah,
those
it's
pictures, it's
just
just all
right
gravel.
full of
Yeah.
gravel.
And it pitches, everything pitches to it.
Right,
So
right, and you have these kind of steep banks that end
So
up down
it's-
Plymouth Brook.
As soon as you get some rain, it heads right for the
Yeah, yeah,
Flower Brook.
yeah, exactly. But, yeah, it's one of my favorite spots, though. It's a beautiful area. And yes. Thank you
All right,
very
well,
much.
thank you for
Thanks
joining us
letting
and
me-
bringing us up to date on your studies and stuff and
Thanks for
helping
letting me-
us if, when we're moving forward with other options.
Yeah, I'd love to connect about the culverts. I just
Okay.
think it's something that no one's taken advantage of yet, and I think it could be
Right.
helpful.
Would you be open to being put in contact with our highway foreman?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll make it on Jimmy's card.
You said you're gonna email that?
Yeah, I'll email these notes.
Thanks, Helen.
It's hard to see that.
Do you want to keep this copy?
No. You can email it to me anyway, I got it all together, that'd be
Is
clear.
it possible to keep it in the town hall room so other people can see it as well?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, there's the one, I was gonna take out
Okay.
that one part.
Or you can just email it to Kristen and I can print it out. Okay. If you want everything.
That was like.
Any announcements tonight, Kristen?
Not for me, no.
Zoning administrator? Nothing. Planning commission? Nothing. Road foreman?
Let's see. So from James, summary from the last few weeks. So the prior 2 weeks, they've received a salt order. They've done preventative maintenance on plow trucks and the loader. Received and fixed a complaint on River Road, fixing a driveway apron from a washout. Fixed washouts and installed check dam on Rupert Hill Road just east of Clerk Road. Fixed shoulder washout on Danby Pawlet Road. Repaired 2 aprons on Danby Pawlet Road caused by a washout and water runoff. Mowed Betts Bridge Road, Briar Hill and Warren Switch. Spot graded potholes and fixed washouts on the Switch Road in Briar Hill. Spot graded potholes and fixed washouts on Herrick Brook and Waite Hill roads. This week and I guess last week and this week conducted a dead tree / hanging tree inventory and removal starting on all class 3 roads. Winter weather event and cleanup. They fixed the bed chain and shaft on 17 Mack plow truck, sent 13 Mack to get the bed chain fixed, patrolled and I think this means patrolled roads to monitor road conditions with trucks. They are this week repairing the 24 Freightliner wing arm, replacing hydraulic lines on the wing slide on the 17 Mack, greasing and changing filters on the trucks and the loader. There is a winter weather event that is intended to begin tomorrow, 12/10. They've received another salt shipment, and tree cutting will begin on the 11th, is the anticipated plan on Clerk Road.
They've been busy.
Yes,
And they're gonna be plowing tomorrow.
Yeah.
yes, yep. I think they're they're figuring out their groove
Yeah.
for plowing. But that's all from James.
Anybody have any questions or comments regarding the road? Okay.
No.
Anything from the assessors?
No.
And Deb has,
So Deb is filling in as our PEG TV film crew this evening, as Bill is getting himself shifted over from the library trustee meeting. Deb would like to acknowledge the group of people who worked so hard to facilitate Pawlet's first annual tree lighting last week. The atmosphere. Oh, hi Deb, do you want to take over? Are you sure?
You're very festive.
Okay. Well, Deb here is here to say that the atmosphere was uplifting, joyful, playful, and fun. Many people worked together to pull this event together, and she is so lucky that they did. The North Pole mailbox is being monitored and checked by Santa's helpers. It's out front at the town hall. There have been reminders sent out for annual town report submissions. They are not due yet, but the reminders are out in December. So I'm going to ad-lib for you all, start to think about the highlight reel from 2025 so we can put together our town report. And that's it. Have a wonderful evening. From Deb. Thank you. Thank you.
all right. Well, thank you very much. Anybody have any questions for Deb? Thanks for helping out in the technical portion this evening.
Double duty.
Okay. Thank you. Julie?
May I?
Oh,
My talking stick.
thank you. It's on.
Two warrants tonight. Payrolls $13,890.32. Accounts payables $24,923.99. The breakdown of that is general fund $15,665.53. Highway $21,880.87 and wastewater $1,267.91. We have received $5,638-ish for our insurance claim. The tools were paid out to us at 80% of replacement costs, and then once new equipment is purchased, we can submit the invoices, and then the remaining funds will be paid as well.
Oh.
And then the town received another donation to be earmarked for a new garage. Trying to schedule with the bank to meet and discuss how to best invest those funds and the status of our other investments. So I will be able to bring that to you next time. And then I will be attending a year-end payroll and other things, but payroll heavy training in Castleton this Thursday. And then I was curious, I didn't write it on here, but are you ready to make the final 2 calls on your budget? We had the appropriation to the library and the highway payroll lines still to fill in.
Yes, we'll discuss that at the end of the, everybody okay with that? I think we can, yes.
Okay. That's it for me.
All right, I'll move that we approve payroll warrant 26031 and accounts payable warrant 26032.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Anybody else have any questions for Julie? Okay, thank you. Anything from the emergency management? Health officer?
Yes. Let's see. So Jennifer Sullivan wrote to let us know that there was a report of a dog bite that took place in New Jersey from an epidemiologist with the state of Vermont. The dog lives in West Pawlet, and they want to inform about the dog's current status from a rabies perspective, but Jennifer is waiting for the owner to call with more information. Deb?
She did reach out to me, and that dog is not registered.
Okay. Did you let Jennifer know about that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. Thank you. Traveling dog.
Facilities. Guess Tom.
That's
Okay.
Tom with painting.
Painting quotes. I got a hold of the Lux Painting Company, and this would work out to where if we approve these 3 quotes that we got, 2 on the town hall and 1 on the library, they would proceed to do the work late May, June. And so the way it would work out is we'd have to give a 10% based on accepting the quotes tonight, and then 50% payable in late May, June, and then the balance after the work would be due like July. So,
That works.
so I've sent you folks all a copy of these, so I'll make it in a form of a motion. And do you want estimate numbers? You want to do them separately? Or do you want to do them all as a group?
I think it all
What do you
needs to
want?
get done. We might as well vote to approve all 3 quotes.
A motion to approve the quotes or to accept.
You're approving all 3?
Yeah.
I can you do it one.
Yeah.
Just one big joy. Yeah.
Because one's
One
on the
big-
library and the other 2 are on the,
I'd say just quotes for
Town hall?
painting of the town hall and library. From the
Okay.
stuff.
so the estimate numbers, I'm just gonna give you the last 3 numbers. 351, 352, and 353. 351 is $25,480. 350,
Wait.
I'll give you these when I'm done.
Ooh, it's 25,000. You can
480.
just say, if you just read it nice and slowly, I will get it. 352,
8,650.
beautiful. And 353,
19,450.
19,450. All right, that's great. Thanks.
I'll second his motion.
Any more discussion about the painting of the town hall and library? Vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thanks.
Thank you for working through that
And then
project.
you can give them the, you're welcome. Thanks everybody for helping me.
Wastewater treatment, I haven't heard anything. Report.
I do have some more on the facility side.
Okay,
I'm sorry. Ed fixed the timer. So the timer's now working on the lights on the side of the building. So he emailed me today. He apologized for not telling me when he saw me over the weekend. That's all set out there. So I'd like to thank Ed for that publicly, because that was really nice of him to get that done. So,
Excellent. Thank
You
you.
found what controlled the lights out here?
yeah, I found the timer there like a month ago, 4 weeks ago, and then Ed, a couple weeks ago, said he could fix it. So he fixed it.
Good.
Yeah.
Meadowy School Board?
I do have that. Let's see. Do. Okay, I'm a liar. I said it was right handy, and it totally isn't.
Do you want me to print it for you?
I found it. At our regular meeting on December 8th, so yesterday, which was held at the Meadowee Community School, the board held a lengthy discussion regarding the draft of the fiscal year 27 budget. We will be approving a budget at the next meeting in January. We also spent time discussing the status of Act 73 and the future of education reform, which will again be an emphasis of the legislature this year. The Meadowee Board is committed to staying in touch with our local legislators. We plan to continue staying actively engaged in this process and to continue to keep our community informed of pending legislation and its impacts on our system. Our next regular meeting is scheduled for January 12th, 2026, at 6:30 p.m. It will be on Google Meet, as well as the physical location will be the auditorium here. As always, we welcome public comment and participation in our meetings. That is it.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions for Julie? Thank you. Library, do you have anything to?
Okay, yes, thanks. Let me get my notes. We just had a meeting and tried to keep it timely to run across to join you all. So we did want to also add our thanks to the tree lighting. It was an amazing ceremony, and we thank the town for supporting it. The library was open. We had a lot of people come in, and we had some crafts for kids, so it was a really good community event, and we were really happy to have that. We did want to ask the select board to consider paying for a cleaner for the library. We had asked that a meeting or two ago, and did want you to consider that. I don't know if you needed clarity on that.
Did we, how does that work, Julie? We did pay for it?
Traditionally, so when I first started here, the library paid for their own cleaner and the town paid for their own cleaner, but it wasn't through payroll. We had a workers' comp audit, and we were told that we were not to do that way anymore. That person needed to be moved from a contracted service to a payroll employee. So we did that, and when you did that, you just took on the full responsibility and paid it all out of the general fund. I think the thought process at that time was these are town-owned buildings. They need to be maintained in some capacity by the town. It's not a huge amount of money, but it has for like the last 5 years or so been paid out of the general fund.
Okay. So now they need to find a new cleaner that will get paid out of our general fund.
We have somebody who is willing to do that at the rate that the town pays, and I think it's maybe 2 hours a week. I think Julie had said approximately.
So you can get to Julie and make sure they get all the
Okay.
information together. And,
Okay, great.
okay.
Thank you. Sue brought up the snowfall on the building. Lauren did. Okay, sorry. That it's a little dangerous, and she thought we might need some better either blocking people from parking where the snow can shed off the building.
Historically, the last couple of years, you've had some orange cones, but they're not always put out. I'm just wondering if maybe something slightly more permanent for the, like maybe not permanent, but something that's more substantial that can't get plowed or moved. That because I saw like a car tonight was parked underneath the left-hand eave, and there's already like snow had started to fall off and was like halfway off.
That might have been my car.
So
Yeah, I don't think it was your car. But anyway, I just wondered if that's something you could think about. I know that we talked about, I know historically you guys talked about the clips on the slate roof, but that wasn't a good option. I can't remember why.
I wouldn't suggest putting snow guards.
Snow guards, right. So without that, like if there's any way to just
So even
you know,
if we-
block those off for the winter months, I think it would be
I think we have
a really good idea.
block it off for winter months because.
Well, the snow guards were Marty Kravitz thing. That was what he wanted.
Yeah. What was there last year? And where'd the cones go from there?
They're next
Well-
to the library.
But the thing of it is, cones are easily moved. I'm wondering
Especially when you're plowing.
if we should put some
Like a concrete, like some kind of.
of those barriers or something. Isn't there a couple of those barriers down at the dump?
There
For
is,
Christmas presents.
the only
Under the
concern
tree.
that I would have with that is as the snow piled up against the building, you can't remove it.
Oh, right.
You know, if it keeps freezing and coming off and building up, and then the water's gonna wanna run back into the building.
And you also wouldn't see them if they got covered up with snow and you think it was snowing. Okay.
I think you wanna be able to move them and backblade that snow when it's,
I can do the cones then.
I was gonna say, I'm with Rich on that. I think if you put the cones out while the library's open,
Yeah.
and then,
Well, the cones could be
People
go,
park there just to
To
use
get Wi-Fi.
Like people park there a lot,
Yeah.
so I think that,
there need to be coned off for the duration of the winter.
yeah.
Anytime
I
there's
mean,
snow on the roof.
those Jersey barriers would work great, you just couldn't move them. And the
Right.
snow would pile up between them and the
Yeah, I
building.
understand, yeah.
Then we get water in the building.
I mean, if we get some warm weather and the roof clears off for a few weeks between snowstorms, you
And it's
could,
nice to be able to just move the cones.
right.
Right. That makes
It
sense.
happens here too.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we'll just be more diligent about not putting them out there when we need to.
Okay.
and don't look at the thermometer and think that it has to be 25 degrees for it to slide.
Right.
Mhm.
They can, right.
They will slide with just the sun
Sunshine, yeah.
Right.
on them and 10 degrees.
Okay.
It will clean the slate roof.
Okay.
So
All right.
keep that, don't look at just the thermometer.
Okay. And I did, we are making progress on our hiring for the director. Just wanted to let the board know we did have legal counsel, and I think that we're moving forward. So
Okay.
in a positive direction. Yep. And the last is that we had 2 board members resign, and so we have 2 open seats on the library board.
Okay.
So we will be putting that out, I guess, for the select board to appoint. And these seats were going to be, they were up for a re-election in March,
So
so,
complete this term till March, from
Yes.
now till March.
yes.
How did we do that last time that we had to appoint? Did the library put out a call and then people sent the things to us as the select board and we made a decision?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I know that there was something about that on, like a legacy thing on the website that we can reactivate, I
The
guess.
library made a recommendation about who.
I was just gonna say that.
I can't remember, yeah.
I remember. because
Well, that was a
lot
different-
of information was being withheld and then controlled. But anyway, you had sent a letter of interest. I don't know if.
The library board advertised that there were openings, and then
Yes.
and then it goes to the select board
The select
to
board.
decide.
Right.
Yep. So
It's very similar to if there's an opening on the planning commission.
Right.
Normally, then the planning commission would send out the notifications and have people let them know, and then the planning commission would make a recommendation to the select board. So it could be very similar with this.
okay. So
I mean, I'm glad it's only till March, and then they can get elected.
you could see if you like it, and then run
Similar
again.
to what happened
Yeah.
last time. Yeah.
I have something.
Right. Right.
What's that?
I have something.
Oh, right. And then we did also agree to extend our temporary employees for 3 more months to get us through this process still, but everything has been working really well with them, and they've kind of carried the library through, and it's been really good. So we did authorize for us to keep them going.
Okay. Tom?
Ceiling that we looked at Friday evening. The paint guy can come December 23rd at 1 p.m.
Oh, is that Monday maybe?
It's on a Tuesday.
Oh, even better.
Tuesday, yeah, because it wasn't a Monday. They wanted to do Monday, and I went with what the hours were on the library,
Oh, okay, great,
on the website.
yeah,
I mean, I'll be there, but it'll be 1 o'clock.
okay,
So December 23rd, one.
yeah, painting,
Is that gonna interfere with anything in that room going on?
No,
we don't have,
Okay,
no.
there's nothing in there for that day.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else for the library? Anybody else have any questions?
I
Okay.
have a question. The 2 board members that just resigned, did they give you a reason?
They, official reason, they were unhappy with the, everything. I mean,
They were unhappy with being in a minority.
Uh,
I mean, I'm happy to speak to it.
okay, Lauren.
Yes.
Thanks. I think, specifically one of them said that she just didn't want to be part of the negativity, but she wasn't planning on running again in March anyway. And the other member, and you'll be able to watch this, and it was all reported, so you can watch for yourself. But that she really did not feel comfortable with her experience as a board member, and it was too difficult for her, I think, in good faith to continue, which, I understand, because it's been really difficult for, I'd say, the 5 of us, and it's really hard to be part of a divided board. But I would encourage all of you to watch the meeting. I'd really appreciate it, particularly if you want to watch the end.
And that was the meeting that just took place tonight?
It's the meeting that just took place. I mean, everybody's entitled to do what's best for themselves, and I appreciate that and respect that. And it's been hard. It's really, I've been on the board, it's been a divided board since I've been on it, since 2024, March. And so I know what it's like to be in the minority of the board as well for a long period of time. It's not easy. And so, everyone's entitled to their feelings, and I think that she was making the right decision for herself. But I don't think we can speak on their behalf, but I would encourage you to watch the meeting.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Old or unfinished business?
Mike, I just have a quick thing. Eric Lubinsky, who's here on Zoom, was just curious about a status update for the reappraisal process. I can just say that at our last meeting, Eric Tyler Technologies, who's completing the reappraisal process, they provided a bit of a percentage as to where they are thus far, and they're still working with property owners and residents of the area to set up appointments to get their homes viewed and visited by the Tyler Technologies team. So they are making headway and making progress, but they are still working on visiting homes and also having opportunities for people to reach out to them to schedule a visit. Does that answer your question? Okay, sounds good, thank you.
Did they expect to be done by sometime this spring with that portion, and then?
Yeah, I think they wanted to be done with everything on July 1, if I'm remembering correctly. So I would encourage anyone who is making an appointment to have them come into your house to do it ASAP. Just the sooner it's done, because I think they were intending to try to get all of the actual site visits done in fairish weather, and then do a lot of the paperwork portion in the winter months. So don't hesitate, make your appointment today.
I don't recall the exact number, but I think when they gave us the report last time, they were like 50% or something. It was a good amount.
It was very
Yeah,
close to
right.
50%.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Julie.
Can I add something to the library report? I mean,
Sure.
Is that okay?
Sure.
It's anonymous, but I just want everyone to know, because it was really a proudful moment, but we received a donation of $2,500 over the weekend and a letter of gratitude, completely unsolicited and surprisingly from a couple in town who have been witnessing and watching over the last couple of years. And they just commended us for our hard work, dedication, as you guys know what that's like, and also wanted those monies to go forward with a positive future and for the library. And I just feel like, I just want to state, when you watch that meeting, which I really would ask that you all watch it, I think that we feel really strongly that everything we're doing, and I think you've heard me say this before, is for the betterment of that library and that establishment, and how important that resource is for our community for a bunch of different reasons. And I think that that's going to continue to grow in the future with technology and telehealth. I told you Vermont is piloting a program for telehealth in rural communities. I just think that, I think that the library is going to become, it's an essential part of a community for everybody. It equalizes a lot of things, but it's going to become more and more vital. And everything that we're doing is really to leave that library in better positioning when we're gone. I mean, we're all only here temporarily. I mean, I'm out in a year and a half. I mean, other terms are after that, and everybody serves their time. But I feel really good that we're putting into place checks and balances so that what happened before won't happen again, that there'll be a roadmap and a method out that will be a lot cleaner and a lot safer for everybody involved. I just wanted to add that, and I got really validated by that letter. It felt great, so thank you.
Thank you. So, old or unfinished? MERP. Do you still have some work to do with that?
Yeah, what we have to do is make the decision about which of those 3 options we wanted to go with that they presented to us last time. And I don't have it in front of me still because I know which one I would want. But you might recall that there were those 3 different options from the left to the right. And from the most expensive and most efficient to the least was the geothermal system. Then there was, oh yeah, you got that there. And then there was the air to water system plus the full envelope scope. And then there was the air to air system plus the full envelope scope. And I think it was just Rich who wasn't here when this got presented, but you probably got it all emailed to you. But yeah, and the advisory group does recommend the option A, and I think that was also what was recommended by the Architect group, largely for its long-term savings, even though it costs a bit more upfront.
And I think I'm part of the committee, but even more than that, I think it's another exciting opportunity to put Pawlet on the map for something progressive. I think would be a pilot opportunity for that as well in the state, if I recall from our meeting.
Yeah, there's not many other towns that have, the reason why it would work so well here is because our 2 buildings are near each other. They could put down the geothermal wells and then run them to both buildings, and we could get like an economy of scale with that.
And in addition to that, some of the other things that we might have to wait on, I think that other grants in the future will probably be able to fund those things easily. I think this is an incredibly positive opportunity and something to really celebrate and be excited about.
Did we get clarification whether there's 0 to low interest loans toward that, or was that something, I wrote that note on there, it said January of 2026.
That is something that will be, if I remember correctly what Shelley said, that is a program that's coming out in the beginning of 2026, that if we did want to try to get some of these low interest loans to do some of the other things with the building, having to do with the envelope or the insulation, that would be an option. But I'm not sure they fully have the details out for that program. That is an upcoming program.
But that wasn't also part of the geothermal, if we went with that one?
It looks like, just so I understand this correctly, the balance with that option A for the town is 57,630.32.
Yep, that's what it would be.
Yeah.
Yep. And we do have, as far as the capital projects fund, I did get with Julie on that, and looking at the amount of the capital projects fund and how much is set aside, and we didn't even look at any of the stuff that's earmarked for the garage, because that's its own thing. but we have, in the capital projects fund right now, stuff that is not earmarked for the garage, we have about 450,000. So yeah, we would have to kick that amount in.
And I'm sure in the presentation it showed what the savings would be.
That last
Right.
page,
The last,
Yep.
the last page of
that was a 50-year life cycle.
Yep, and there were a couple different ways that she went through and analyzed the savings, depending on the life cycle, depending on which aspects of it you look at. And I can't explain it properly because she did it really well, and I don't have those words, but it's
Just
written down
one
there.
more question. With the geothermal, you're gonna have to have a system that heats that water up even warmer in the wintertime, correct? Would that be propane or oil, or do they heat it up by just recirculating it?
It would hook into our existing boiler,
Okay.
because we already have the system to put the water through, and there would be, basically there were units that they would put in
Yeah.
that would heat up the water. But yeah, but our existing boilers in both buildings would remain, and we could fire them up if we needed to for a really cold day, basically.
But we didn't talk about what type of fuel would generate those heated pumps.
Well, if they're gonna use the existing furnaces or boilers.
I believe so. I don't remember the details of what they said, but they said there's a little bit of time where if the ground gets saturated, that you don't realize as much heat from the ground, like toward the end of the season or something like that. But you have the auxiliary to make the balance up.
Right.
I feel like she spoke to some sort of like a circulator
Yeah.
that
The circulator pumps
the circulator
would
pumps.
circulate it through the wells, and it's a closed loop system, and the circulator pumps are all in the basement, not in the wells, so they could be easily changed that way. But then there has to, I believe it's the boiler itself would make up the difference in temperatures when the geothermal wasn't.
I forget the name of the unit, but basically when you get the air unit, it's like a condenser sort of, but it's not
Heat
really called.
exchanger?
Yeah, the heat exchanger, and that pulls the heat out of the air and puts it into your house. And in this case, there would be a similar thing that would go in the basement that would take the heat from the water and put it into our boiler system. Again, I don't fully understand it, but who was here who understood it really well? Rose from the Historical Society
Rose
was
and
here.
Ed Evans were both
And they both have.
were both here and very
Supportive.
both very knowledgeable of
And
it.
They have those kinds of systems themselves, and we're
Yeah, and something
Yes.
that was neat was that this would also, the geothermal system, given that it needs the wells, would be a really cool opportunity to employ local well drillers.
Yeah,
They
the-
specifically spoke to the Goulds, but, you know, it would be a neat opportunity to be able to get some local people involved. And Pawlet would be the only town in the entire state that would have any sort of geothermal system for any of their municipal buildings, which would be neat.
Well, I mean, it's the only one that Architect is working with.
Okay.
And they're working with like 8 or 9 towns in our area.
Okay.
So it's possible there's somebody in the Northeast Kingdom or
We'll just
like
pretend
Brattleboro or
we
something.
would be the
I thought they
first.
said it was that,
That we'd be the first
We might
municipality.
be.
I
Yeah.
thought that that's what she said.
I know Frank said that, and you know, if Frank said it,
Well, this incentive is enough to get somebody to follow through with it.
Frank
And
has.
that's enormous.
Yeah.
I think Frank has his hand up 15 times.
Oh.
Oh.
There's a little 15 next to his name.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
115 times, actually.
She also said there may be some additional funding coming from Efficiency Vermont and potentially Green Mountain Power that she's still working on.
Oh, yeah. It says TBD.
The advantage of the closed loop geothermal system is it's going to provide steady ground temperatures to convert into heat year round, both for cooling in the summer and heating in the winter and we would be utilizing the, as an exchanger system where it goes directly in conjunction with our present oil burner system. And it's a very unique system. The numbers going the other direction, the other option of rehabbing the buildings is very expensive, probably without much gain. Where this ground loop system, for the bang for the buck, would provide us with a foundational system, which then could, as a phase one, and then as a phase two, which they're providing the engineering for, of around a couple $100,000 worth of estimated work that would have to be done. They're going to provide the engineering for that for phase two, which is part of the project, a part of their job, and that can be done later on. But this phase one geothermal, unique to Vermont, there was some expert that they were dealing with who had turned down geothermal and a number of other sites, and but this site was very excited about it being remarkably good for the use of geothermal. So this is something that these people are experts, and I trust what they were saying, and they provided the numbers to the select board at the last meeting of the comparisons on the financial side. So, but there may be more money coming from these other sources that she's trying to, put the can out to get some money, and so this is not the end projection as far as the financials are concerned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So I guess we just need to decide what we want to go with and then make a motion to have them proceed with drawing up those plans, and then they'll move on. And the next step is for them to make detailed plans for whichever option we select. And then next year, we would be actually putting in the equipment.
Who wants to spend $500,000? Go for it.
How much can we reiterate how much the grant is for?
The grant is for,
Is there something that needs to be decided on tonight?
it is, yes. Yeah, it was presented 2 weeks ago for the purpose that then we could decide on it tonight.
was right there.
Yeah, the grant is for,
20, here, I give, can I
420?
take that?
yep,
There we go. 422,
yep, the
308.
grant is 422,308, and then they've identified Green Mountain Power incentives, which come to approximately about 35,000 in Green Mountain Power incentives. The total for the geothermal system would be about 515,000, which would leave us to kick in of town money beyond the grant, about 57,630. There would also then be some Efficiency Vermont incentives, which she has not been able to get Efficiency Vermont to nail down the amount yet. So those would then subtract from that amount the town would have to kick in.
And what are we going to decide on tonight? Just the design phase? Or-
Yeah, what we would decide on tonight is which of these options we want them to
A,
design.
B, or C.
Yeah.
And there's no cost to the town to do that?
No, that's all paid for with the grant money. Yeah. Now,
You
if
know-
we made them design one and then we decided that we wanted to go with a different one,
Right.
then they'd probably charge us to design a different one because their job is to design us one of these. Now, what they are going to do, which Frank was speaking to, was if we do go with the geothermal option, which wouldn't involve us immediately doing all of the insulation and stuff, they will design the insulation for us. They'll do all of that.
That's all included in
That's
this?
all included in here. Yeah, we just wouldn't have the money to put it in at this time, but we'd have the plans.
Mhm.
what they're calling the envelope.
Yeah,
That's what
the
they mean by
envelope.
the full envelope. That would be all the building upgrades and et cetera to make it
Just all
even
that breakdown right
more
there.
effective.
And something that I think was a takeaway that I got out of it as a viewer that was really important was that a lot of this whole envelope sort of like because of the historic nature of these buildings, there's really no way that they can perfect the envelope of the buildings. So all this all this work that they would do, I mean, getting into the ceiling up here in the town hall, they really couldn't do everything that they would want to just due to the nature of the building and having to
Because the
preserve the
ceiling's
historical
historic.
Right.
integrity. So she had said how really sort of it might be in the town's best interest to think about moving in the direction of coming up with a system that's the most efficient and then being able to chip away through the years at these proposed designs to be able to upgrade the envelope. But she was really transparent with the fact that with just what we're up against, it would pretty much be nearly impossible to, make such grand improvements with just the project.
That it's
To
not
the
gonna,
exterior.
yeah, we're always gonna leak.
We'll always be wanting for more, we're always gonna leak air and whatnot because what we have to maintain. We're an official gig.
I'm sorry, I kicked that by mistake. I stretched out my
No, we're an
hand.
official gig town.
Yep, we're a gig town.
Nobody knows where
We don't know what this means.
Fidium came and brought it to all the towns that participated in, bringing fiber.
Oh, sorry, that was a random aside, but.
Well, I guess the question is, does anybody think that one of the other options is better than the geothermal?
I wouldn't, I would agree that the geothermal is the best option.
Yeah. In that case, I'll make a motion that we ask Architin to go ahead and draw up the option A for us.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
All right, I will. Our advisory group member here is happy.
Good job, Jessica.
I will get with them and let them know our decision.
Good job, Jessica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really do hope we can get Golden Sons to drill wells for us. That would be pretty cool. They drilled my well. I mean, I'm sure they've drilled most of our wells.
They would definitely know what how much water we would get here.
Yeah.
And were they brought into that conversation initially?
Not yet, but the
contractor, the
person who works for Architin, who is their contractor, who was also here 2 weeks ago, knows them.
Jason.
And so he was like, I should get with them and talk to them about it if we decide, they wanted to see if we wanted to move ahead with it or
Jason
not.
McNulty.
Yeah, I think he's fairly local. I think their whole company's out of Sudbury.
Okay.
So he's aware that we do have a local well drilling contractor that they would try and work with to get the wells put in.
And the next thing on the old business is the burn ordinance, which I went through and I made the changes that we talked about last time, which you will see on the second to last page, which is that we updated the numbers on the penalties as we spoke about last time. Other than that, it's exactly as John Weiss helped with drawing up.
And in that ordinance, Rich, there is a provision for snow on the ground. That gives you permission to burn brush and, a controlled burn of a small fire, campfire type of.
Yeah, so my takeaway was there's going to be no changes as far as the permitting process goes. The changes are going to be with enforcement.
Right.
The town can now enforce it. But as far as the permitting goes, it's going to be the same as it's always been.
Yep, it's exactly the same as how the state law is, which is, John wrote down, which, even when he wrote that down about the snow on the ground and stuff, he added the Vermont state statute. So it's just the same as state statute. It's just that we could now enforce it ourselves.
Right, for the burning of and the garbage, and they do a pretty good, clear job of outlining exactly what's considered garbage and what's not allowed to be burned, so. I think it's important.
And I did look into, if we do adopt it, what we need to then do next. And we do have to, we would have to work with Deb to do this. And we have to put it into the newspaper, like most things. And we have to put it 5 places in the municipality. Do we have 5 places we normally put stuff, or is it 3?
Well, pretty much 3, but I don't know if you, I mean, I would think that the Facebook page counts as a place, and the web page. And
Must be posted in 5 conspicuous places in the municipality.
Oh, you could do that.
Post office.
Post office, town hall, library,
Mix and shell.
public stores.
Mhm. And what has to be posted is, it's a particular format, which I started working on, that lists, that gives a summary of it and then says the full text can be examined at the town office. So we would have a copy here that folks could come in and see, and we could ask Sean to put it up on the website as well so people could examine it. And then that they do have the right to petition if people want to disapprove it. And it gives them the information on that. And then there has to be a person to contact about the ordinance. And I was wondering if that should be Deb or Julie, or if it should be one of the select board members. That was the one thing on this notice that I wasn't sure about. If someone wants to have more information pertaining to this ordinance.
Well, if they call Julia, we would just refer them to the ordinance that is here.
Yeah.
You know, so you could put the town office as a contact.
Put the town office.
Yeah,
Okay.
and whoever answers it will say, it's on the table.
Yeah, exactly. And then they can come and see it.
Yeah.
Or it's on the website. Go have
Right,
a look.
right.
Okay. All right. That was just the one thing I wanted to check on with that.
And then people have, unless there's a petition filed, the ordinance or rule would become effective 60 days after the date of its adoption. So there's 60 days to.
Any more discussion about the burning ordinance? Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt the burning ordinance.
I'll second that.
Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Should I include the copy in the minutes?
Yes,
Like
you should
I'll
include
make a.
Yeah, you should include the full
C
copy of it.
attached.
Yes, according to the directions here, have the directions, yes. The select board's vote to adopt, amend, or repeal the ordinance must be entered into the meeting minutes along with a copy of the ordinance
Nice.
itself.
It's 24 VSA 1972, right? Subsection is what I'm looking at. Is that what you've printed out?
Yes.
I'm gonna make it real official and say for that.
Okay. And then the copies must be posted in 5 conspicuous places, and then we have to publish it in the newspaper. And Deb, I will send that to you tomorrow to send to the paper. Yep.
We're gonna need to take out a full page spread.
We can put a summary of it.
Okay.
Yes, I wrote up a little summary which says, that
pages
we
long.
prohibit solid waste burning.
Right off
Okay.
small.
Yeah, and then it says the full text can be seen at the Pawlet town office.
Okay.
Because it's
like,
the same
wow.
way with when we do the the town plan. It's like we're not going to publish the whole town plan.
That would be fun.
All right. I'm glad we didn't get a bunch of people coming out of the woodwork to say, but wait a minute, we want to burn waste.
Oh, goodness. Well, you have 60 days
Yep, you never know.
to really let it rip.
You never know.
Let it rip.
Yep.
Alright.
Not just
Don't say that, there's a lot of wrapping papers are coming.
He chose the word, not me.
choose your paper-based wrapping paper this holiday season.
Is there any
Shiny
other
plastic.
old or unfinished business to?
Thanks. Okay.
Guess not. Good. Any new business? All right. And,
Public comment?
oh, public comment, yeah.
Y'all are great, thank you.
Oh.
Anybody have any public comment tonight?
What she said.
What she said?
No.
Everybody's all set? Okay.
All right.
I'll make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss confidential attorney-client communications made for the purpose of providing professional legal services to the body.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.